good to go.
Perfect. So thank you all for joining us. Happy November. I'm just going to take a few minutes to set the expectations and intentions of this meeting. We're all here to learn new information, to make new connections, and to rekindle existing ones, to network with a group of passionate, community-oriented folks working to make our community a better place each day. And this is really just a safe space for collaboration, problem solving, and resource sharing. We want to be sure to respect the speaker, so please use the chat box or the raised hand feature to ask questions or to make comments when others are speaking. And if you are not speaking, please mute so we can limit any background noise, and I think we can mute on our end too. I ask that everyone please be present for the meeting as much as possible, and if you could turn on your cameras, if you're comfortable with that, we would love to see everyone's faces, but we totally understand if you're not comfortable with that. We want to honor and respect everyone's time, so we're going to try to adhere to a timely agenda so we can fit everything in and get everyone out on time or early. We want to respect confidentiality and respect where everyone is at in the present moment. Please share if you're comfortable, but if you are not, that's okay too. And if you can, please rename yourself if you're able to. So if you see there's 3 dots on the top right of your screen. And so if you click on those 3 dots, there should be an option to rename, and it would be awesome if everyone could rename themselves to their name and their organization, just so we can get a better idea of who is from where. And remember to always say your name, organization, and position before you talk to the group, so that we can try to put names to faces and start to get to know each other virtually. Kelsey, on to you for announcements.
Awesome. Okay, everyone. So as you guys all know, our monthly meetings, except for this one, is on the second Wednesday of every month from 9:30 to 11. And our meetings will be recorded and sent out after. I admitted someone. Sent out after the meeting with notes, flyers, resources for outreach materials from the presenters of the agencies that have presented. So the presenter schedule for December, we're going to have the Center for Employment Opportunities. We're going to have the Home First Bridge Housing Program, and we're going to have the Heart and Home Collaborative. We're looking for more presenters for 2021. And so the presentations don't have to be super formal or long. We just want to hear about the organization you work for or any resources that your company can provide for the larger group. So if you're interested, let us know for January, February, and March. We plan 3 months in ahead. And slots are filling up, so contact us if you're interested. If you want to, I didn't put my favorite fall theme background, but you can put a fall theme background behind you, maybe some Thanksgiving food, whatever you want. Okay, and then I think we're going to get into the introductions and the icebreakers.
Yeah, so next up we have the icebreakers. We're going to put everyone into breakout rooms for this, similar to last meeting. And the point of the breakout rooms is to meet new people, to collaborate and make connections. Since we're virtual, it's a lot harder to do this, so we're going to try to rely on those breakout rooms for that. Make sure to answer the following questions in your breakout rooms and put your information in the chat box. And I'm going to put those in the chat box right now. Hold on one second. And I will read them off as well. So make sure to say in the breakout rooms to say your name, organization, position, and city. And either answer one of the following: what food do you love that a lot of people might find a little odd? Or what topic could you give a 20-minute presentation on without any preparation? And we're gonna go into the first breakout room in a second and then regroup briefly.
Okay, so good morning. Thank you guys for allowing us to have this time. My name is Christina Grijalva. I go by Tina, so I think I told some of you guys that. I feel like I'm repeating myself, sorry. So you can call me Christina or Tina. I answered to both, it's fine. And Andre is on here with me. So yeah, let's just get into it. Oh my God, where can I go? Okay, there we go. So I just wanted to start off by telling myself telling you guys a little bit about myself. My name is Christina. I've been with Goodwill for about 1.5 years now. I started with the Veterans Program and have recently moved on to the Now program. So I'm a business developer on there. I help our participants find employment outside of Goodwill, as well as some people enjoy Goodwill, so I place them in there as well. Yeah, every day is a new learning experience, as all of you probably know. So I'll let Andre introduce himself to you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I've met a few of you before in our private conversations. My name is Andre Cambridge. I work at Goodwill as well as a business developer. I was mainly in sports marketing for 9 to 10 years now. I decided to come to the Silicon Valley and enroll myself into a different career path and helping people in the community to try to better themselves and teach them skills that I've taken for granted myself at points. And every day has been a learning process for Tina and I working together. And we put a lot of energy and effort into people that we come across and getting to know their experiences and helped a few people. And just proud to be a part of this movement. And it continues to build. We're happy to be here, and our presentation will show and highlight what we do every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. So what is the Now program? So the Now program is a referral basis. Participants are required to have a referral to be eligible to enter the Now program. The participant must receive a referral from the Reentry Resource Center. The Now program accepts all referrals sent with the exception of registered sex offenders. Referrals are received in this manner to ensure that all participants are pre-screened, assessed, and approved through the Santa Clara County Reentry Resource Center. Oh, I keep forgetting, sorry. So did I skip? I think I skipped like a couple. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so we'll go back. So the Now program stands for New Opportunity Work Program. The program offers 90 days of subsidized paid training employment. We serve the Santa Clara and San Benito counties, and we do not overlap counties with Santa Cruz, San Francisco, or Alameda counties. The mission is to support our employees, our customers, and people with challenging barriers to employment. We work with folks to help their standard of living and improve their lives through our services. So basically, our participants come in, they go through our program, and through our program, we're offering them resume skills, mock interview skills. We also offer motivational skills. We've noticed through our program that they are lacking motivation and self-confidence in themselves, so that helps us push them to where they want to go and for a better success rate. So yeah. And I went over this with you. Okay, so the eligibility for the Now program is there's 2 documents needed to be a part of our program. So it could be their social, their birth certificate, or a passport, along with the photo ID. They have to be at least 18 years of older. Motivation to care for their own personal needs. What that means is they are going to have to put in work for this program. So we aren't going to just give them things, give them jobs. They have to work for it. They're going to do their own job searching, their own resume, and then we just assist with the process. They have to have conduct not dangerous to self or others. There's a lot of addicts or people struggling with barriers in our program. So we try to keep safety as our number one priority, just to assure that everybody safely completes our program. If that's something that is holding them back from the program, we can hold off a little bit, or there are other programs that I can talk to you about towards the end that maybe that they can fit into later. They have to have the ability to benefit from participation in the program, which I believe everybody can. Andrea and I are also learning from them, so we're also benefiting. Unemployed or underemployed, ability to arrange your own transportation. We used to assist with transportation, but because of COVID, it's been a little bit of an issue, but we've had really good success with it. Everybody's using friends or family or public transportation. Of course, if there was a specific situation, then we would reassess the situation and maybe assist with that more. But for now, that's working for us. they have to have the ability to pass a drug test. So in our orientation first week, they will be taking a drug test. They will have to test negative, and then they will also be getting random drug testing throughout their program. So that just ensures that we keep a safe work environment and also are considerate to those who are still battling addiction. Also, because marijuana is legal, we don't count that towards our participants. However, we instruct them that they still are unable to bring that onto our property and unable to attend work high. So they have to have the legal right to work, ability to pass the Megan's Law screening. So the reason why we don't work with P290s is because we do have a youth program at Goodwill Silicon Valley, so that can cause an issue. And they have to be released from incarceration up to 13 months, active probation or active parole. If they don't fall under this category, that's okay. I can explain a little bit of the other programs we have at Goodwill as well. So the NOW program offers MRT, which is moral recognition therapy. It's a mandatory group therapy session that focuses on behavior, helps to change the way the participants make decisions, set short-term and long-term goals. Resume writing, participants draft a resume to introduce their qualifications and skills or traits to employers. They also draft cover letters for online applications. It's kind of cool that you see that these people come in. Sometimes they haven't done it at all to write resumes. So we offer a template and they fill out their information and we help kind of revise the resume to make it look a little bit more professional. But the majority of the work is done by the participant. So it's nice to see once they're finished with it, how proud they are of it. And, we just see it all unfold and it's amazing. So yeah, I just want to share that. We also do mock interviews to provide our participants an opportunity to practice or develop their interviewing skills and environment similar to an actual interview. Interview preparation, help reduce stress and anxiety, help boost their confidence, reduce nervousness, improve general knowledge. This includes if they're not going to make it to work, you have to communicate that with somebody, showing up to work on time. Those are things that come natural to us, but for somebody who hasn't worked in a long time or who is incarcerated for quite a while, that is something that may be overlooked. So we kind of help them remind them of that, and during our program they kind of understand the process again. We also just included the digital inclusion workshop in our program. So that's for those who aren't very used to working with computers. So they practice typing, quizzes, operating systems, how to navigate on the internet, how to find resources, how to Google, stuff like that, that maybe we often take for granted because we just know it. So we're teaching stuff like that. So upon conclusion of this program, they will receive a laptop and 6 months free Wi-Fi service. So after the 6 months, they will get an option to extend the Wi-Fi services for a discounted price, depending on what service they go through. And so what we provide is we provide case management, job coaching, business development, peer mentorship, personal development, online computer courses, workplace development with skills training. So our goals are to place our clients in a full-time employment with benefits, employee development, and employee consistency. So obviously it's easy to put them in our Goodwill headquarters to either work at the store and the warehouse, but we know that that is a minimum wage paying job and probably they won't get benefits. So Andre and I like to strive and try to push them to work for an outside company that does offer these benefits to prevent them from going back to what they were doing, just because that might be easier for them to get more money, right? So we want to push for a better lifestyle by pushing them to do something more outside of Goodwill. But of course, if that's where they're at, we put them there, but then we give them the skills to help search for a job when they're ready, or motivation to want to go further than that at some point. They develop skills of complete independent research, fact-checking, and job accountability. When they're applying for a job, especially like on Craigslist or Indeed, are these real jobs? Don't give out your social security number. Do your research on the employer. What are they looking for? What can you offer them? Just kind of tying in all of that together. Understanding the tools needed for growth and development. So we really, really push them to grow. A lot of them are content with working at Goodwill, but we really want to push them to go outside of Goodwill. Learning how to save and use their money wisely. We kind of touch up on that as well. For our participants to use their skills or trades, developing consistency to attain higher working roles. So we have some people come in who, were foremans and now, they're incarcerated and they have to kind of start from the bottom, which could be discouraging. But we just kind of remind them, like, at one point you may be there and you're going to be able to help somebody like yourself in the future. So we just help keep them motivated. We help them gain confidence in themselves and the skills that they have to offer. Just like everyone else, you kind of get kicked when you're down, and we want to build them back up to be able to feel confident in themselves. Yeah. So additional programs here at Goodwill. I know a lot of you are familiar with Goodwill, but the actual programs within it, a lot of people don't know about. So I just wanted to touch on it briefly. I have emailed some flyers along with the information sheet for phone numbers and emails to Alexis, who she'll email that to you guys later on, just in case you have information or need more information or are interested in other programs as well. So we have our In Custody program. Our In Custody program is kind of umbrellaed under the Now program. So basically we have instructors who go into prisons and they teach MRT, they teach professional development, they pay, resume writing, mock interviews, teach them what resources are out here and how to find them once they get released from incarceration, teach them how to enroll in our program if they're interested in it once they are released. Because unless their parole officer tells them that they need to be enrolled in our program, it's kind of like they have to ask to be a part of it with the reentry center. So that's one thing. They used to be able to go into the prisons, but because of COVID, they are now having to do it online. So that's great. That just started, so that's great. Day workers program, that's basically an umbrella also underneath the Now program. It's for those who have a PFN number, so those who have ever been in the county jail. And it's a case-by-case determination of how long that program is going to last. So usually we put them in a job role within Goodwill, either the stores or warehouse. And depending on the demand, they may change role daily. So that would be like a case-by-case basis. We also have the Scc program, which is a housing program for those who have been convicted or sentenced to state prison and are low income. So the way it works is they will be housed for 2 years, and then they will be working towards self-sufficiency. So basically, how much they're going to be paying and how much their rent is going to be increased and how often it's going to be increased is a case-by-case basis. So basically they pay for rent for 2 years, and then the rent increases every so often based on their income. And also during that, they'll have case management. They have the VIP program, VFS program. Those are for veterans. So the VIP program helps veterans find employment, and the VFS program helps veterans find housing, and both offer case management. We also have the expendability program. The expendability program works with those who have special needs. So it assists them in getting job ready, whether it's grooming, how to communicate their needs, what a workday should be like, just getting them job ready, as well as finding them an employer who is willing to work with those with special needs. The cool thing about this program too is they also try to find employers who are not inviting to special needs to kind of help get them to that place and train them in that process. That's really cool about that. We have the Bridge to Recovery program, which is our WEX program, which is a brand new program that just started because of COVID-19. So basically, anybody who's lost their job during COVID-19 is eligible for this program. So already in session would be business services and finance, HVAC installer, construction, and electrical fundamentals. So those are already in session. HVAC was actually supposed to just be like a one-time class, but they actually added another class that is in session. So I'm saying they may or may not extend it again. So if you're interested, I would definitely reach out to them because they may be extended just based on how COVID's going right now. Right now, starting on December 7th, they have the service industry and fundamentals and advanced skills going to be starting. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to them for that as well. And then lastly, we have the assets program, which is a youth program, which is why we can't have the P290s at our facility. And so basically after school program for teens, they have it at 8 East Side Unit school districts. And it provides after school programs focusing on academic achievement, enrichment, school safety, nutrition, student leadership, and parent literacy. So all of these great things that are umbrellaed under the not the Now program, but Goodwill, but I wanted to talk to you about it because I don't feel like enough people know about them. Like I said, Alexis will be emailing out some of the flyers. Not everybody had flyers, but if not, I did include an information sheet with phone numbers if you're interested. But I just remembered that I didn't include Andre and I's information. But if you are interested in the Now program, you can contact Pablo Gaxiola, which will be on the sheet that Alexis will send out. And then if you just have general questions or just want to partner with us or whatever, we'll go ahead and put our email addresses in the chat box for you to get from it. So what we're kind of going to do right now is Andre and I are trying to find employers who are willing to hire our participants basically for free. We would pay for the training. We just want them to have an on-site training at a place outside of Goodwill. So we're trying to see who we can partner with that. So if you know anybody or if you think of somebody who might be interested, feel free to kind of send us a message or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope I wasn't too fast. Sorry, guys. But yeah, that was pretty much it.
It looks like there's one question. Jenny asks, can you say how they are referred again?
To the Now program? Hold on.
Not sure, hopefully.
So if you're talking about specifically the Now program, how they're referred is they'll go to the reentry center. So the reentry center they'll voice that they're interested in our program, and the reentry center will screen them and make sure that they're eligible for our program, and then they'll send them into our program. If you're talking about maybe the day workers program, which is the one with the PFN for the county jail, they'll have to contact the contact on the contact sheet, and then they can set them up and give them the warm handoff program, as well as just anybody who is on parole. Again, you just contact that case manager specifically. The BSCC, which is the housing program for those who were convicted and sentenced to state prison, there is a contact on there. Her name is Rosalba Martinez. Her phone number and her email address is on there. You can contact her. I know there is a bit of a waiting list right now on that one, but I'm not really sure how quick or how fast that's going to go, so you can reach out to her as well. The veterans programs, there's one contact. Her name is Kelly Mahoney. You can contact her for both. Expandability workshops, I think through them, they're going through, well, you can contact Yvonne Perez. She'll be on that list as well, and you can get more information for her. The Bridge to Recovery, you can contact Trish Dorsey, which will be on that as well. And the assets program, I know they're limited right now just because of COVID. I know they were working with way more students, but because of COVID, they had to kind of drop down on that. So I hope that answered the question.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem.
Are those contacts on the website, or is it possible you could just add that to the presentation when they send it out?
Yeah, so I sent them a couple of flyers of, I think, of the WEX program, which is the COVID-19 program, as well as the assets program.
But not a flyer. I don't mean like a flyer for each program, but just like a summary of, you know how you have it listed, just put out there.
Yeah, I could make one and I could send it out. I did send over like a contact list with names and numbers, but I can kind of say what each one is and then with the numbers and who to contact. Yeah, I could do that.
That'd be great. Thanks.
No problem.
Awesome. It looks like there's one more question. However, is it all right, Tina, if you answer it, Aureli's question in the chat box so we can move on to the next presentation? Thank you so, so much, Tina and Andre. Awesome presentation filled with so many great programs and resources. I will send out, as she said, I will send out all those flyers along with the SPIN follow-up email. But moving on to the next presentation is going to be YWCA, and Yazel and Magdalena will be presenting. Kelsey, are they set up to present? Like, do you need to make them co-host or anything?
It says people can share screen. So let me know if you guys can share your screen. If not, I can make you a co-host.
I believe Magdalena's going to share her screen, so as long as she can share it, that'd be great.
Okay, awesome.
She got it.
Perfect. Awesome.
Take it away, you two. Thank you.
Awesome. Alrighty, just give me a sec. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to move this over if I can. Okay, I can't, so I'll just leave it there. So I'll go ahead and begin. Thank you for having us. Again, my name is Yazel Thompson. I'm going to be presenting with Magdalena. She's also here with us today. I act as the Bilingual Client Services Coordinator. I am based in our downtown office located at 375 South 3rd Street. Prior to COVID, my role included conducting initial paperwork that will then navigate our clients through the various opportunities that are offered by the YWCA. As the first point of contact, I'm able to provide emergency counseling, housing assessments, and support with basic necessities like jackets, sweaters, shoes, baby clothes, you know, things like that, if it were available. Now, most of the support, if not all of the support, is over the phone, and that includes emergency emotional support, emergency shelter intakes, counseling, and emergency financial assistance. Today, we are here to provide information on services offered through the different departments within our organizations, and that's what's going to be in our next few slides. Magdalena?
Good morning, everyone. I do apologize if there's some delay. This is my first time presenting via Zoom, so bear with me and thank you for your patience. My name is Magdalena Alvarez. I am the Bilingual Client Services Coordinator for our North Office. Like my counterpart, Yazel just mentioned, our services continue to be provided. At this time, most of our services are provided via telephone or virtual meeting via Zoom, and we will be presenting on the different services that are offered through several of our departments within our organization. And thank you for having us here today.
Okay. And on to our next slide. The first one that we're going to give some information about is our housing program. So we do have a DV shelter, a domestic violence shelter that acts as a transitional space towards safety and healing for our survivors. Our shelter focuses on providing trauma-informed, client-centered services through a special focus on family resiliency. Shelter is on a first come, first served basis. And right now I do believe that the shelter is at capacity. Moteling, we also have a motel program that provides temporary safe haven for our survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. Through case management and basic needs met, the hope is for the motel program to provide a safe and supportive environment for clients to assess their next options. Our rapid rehousing program helps with reducing the impact of barriers to housing, including credit, rental history, etc. We provide assistance with housing applications and home and or apartment searches and viewings. Advocates may be able to aid in other areas such as that impact long-term housing stability. Our homeless prevention system helps with short-term rental assistance, which includes an assessment that is called a pre-VISPADAT assessment. That is usually utilized to assess and help determine their eligibility. And just a brief overview of what pre-VISPADAT means. It's like a prevention VISPADAT. And this is for the folks who are possibly in their home. They're going to be late on the rent, missing rent, at risk of eviction. This is what that evaluation is for. We also have what's called a VISPADAT, which is for folks who are currently homeless. The pre-VISPADAT is could be about a week turnaround at the latest, but the VISPADAT is a 2-month, 1-year turnaround. So that's the difference between those two assessments. And all these assessments that we do at our agency are confidential. And we can go on to the next slide. Sorry, there's a lot of noise behind me.
So continuing forward with our community and crisis support department, we're able to provide a wide range of services, including counseling, case management. We have advocates stationed at the Family Violence Center, and we also have a partnership with CalWorks. We also have a advocate co-located at the Sexual Assault Investigative Unit with San Jose PD. Our counseling service is utilized as a it is a short-term service utilized as a triage service for survivors who may be interested in a more long-term service, for example, therapy. Individuals can be referred through our 24-hour support line, and the service is offered from Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. with the last appointment available at 4 p.m. Through confidential survivor advocacy and case management, survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking are offered ongoing case management, which include a wide range of services to help in meeting specific needs of the survivors individually. Services range from establishing rapport, systems navigation, needs assessment, housing screenings, and prior to COVID, we would provide accompaniment to different appointments or court hearings, but due to COVID-19 at this time, we are not able to provide accompaniment in person. This service at this time looks a little bit different. The advocates are able to provide preparation for any upcoming hearings, or provide emotional support for any appointments or meetings with other community members. If there are any questions regarding how this service is being impacted because of COVID-19, the advocate is able to review this option and provide additional support and information to the individual receiving the service. At our Family Violence Center, it is a multi-service agency providing a safe environment where survivors of domestic violence and their families are able to receive immediate support services and resources as needed. Our Family Violence Advocacy Coordinator works alongside with YWCA Silicon Valley partners, which include San Jose PD, excuse me, social workers, and District Attorney's Office staff members. Excuse me. Through our CalWorks partnership, our Survivor Advocacy Coordinator works directly with CalWorks Employment Services to provide more immediate needs, including advocacy services to survivors of domestic violence and their families. Through this multi-service, CalWorks participants are able to focus on the support needed related to their DV incidents. And our Survivor Advocacy Coordinator works directly with our Sexual Assault Investigative Unit for San Jose PD to provide advocacy services for survivors of sexual assault. Through this multi-service, survivors can find support services they need and assistance to help them navigate the criminal court system and to provide connections to other service providers. At this time, we also have ongoing support groups that are offered to different age ranges and are run through various curriculums focused on trauma incurred from domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. If anyone is interested in being referred to any of these services, they can go ahead and give us a call on our 24-hour support line.
Okay, so our next slide. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about our crisis intervention program. That includes a 24-hour that's supported by our crisis support counselors. Services are readily available in English and in Spanish. If caller does not speak either language, interpreting service is also available. Most frequent services provide and are not limited to domestic violence and sexual assault education, emergency services, crisis counseling, information and safety planning, shelter screenings, and lethality assessments. And again, all those services are available at a 24-hour support line number. We have in-person response with what's called a SAFE, our sexual assault forensic exams at the Valley Medical Center in San Jose, also at Stanford Medical Center, and at the Domestic Violence High Risk Department at the San Jose Police Department. And these responses are currently virtual. We also have what's called Safe Chat. It's a direct messaging service where a survivor can get in contact with one crisis support counselors. And it's a collaboration between AACI, Community Solutions, and Next Door Solutions. And that chat website is safechatsv.org, and the times do vary. And we can go on to the next slide.
Okay, we're now moving forward to our legal services department, which assists with restraining order preparations. Advocates are currently assisting with providing legal services and support to self-represented survivors and families. Services include, but are not limited to, legal information, community resources, and crisis counseling. And the type of restraining orders that we are able to assist through this department include domestic violence restraining orders and civil harassment restraining orders. For these civil harassment restraining orders, we are able to assist anyone who is a survivor of sexual assault only. There are other types of civil harassment restraining orders, but we specifically focus on this type of civil harassment restraining order. At this time, court accompaniment looks a little bit different, as I previously mentioned, because of COVID-19. Advocates are currently providing emotional support and aid with navigating the restraining order process. And legal advocates are providing court preparation for any upcoming court hearings, and are able to provide emotional support as needed. If there are any additional questions with regards to court accompaniment or other inquiries regarding this specific service, the individual would be able to have a conversation with the advocate who has been assigned to provide the service to them. In regards to immigration services, our legal services department advocates are able to assist with U visas, T visas, and VAWAs. The U visa is for any victims of certain types of crimes that have taken place in the United States. The T visas are specifically for victims of severe forms of human trafficking, and VAWAs, which stand for Violence Against Women Act, are for victims who are married to a U.S. citizen or legal resident. Additionally, we also offer a North County Family Justice Center. We are one of 3 sites within Santa Clara County. YWCA Silicon Valley operates the North County Family Justice Center in Sunnyvale. The family justice, family justice related legal advice and advocacy services are offered every Friday as a pro bono Friday clinic. At this time, services are being offered virtually or via telephone, and some of the service providers include the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office, the Victim Services Unit, Step Forward Foundation, family law attorneys, and we also have advocates available from YWCA to assist on any other specific services needed from individuals within our community.
Okay, and we will continue. Okay, so in this slide, we're going to be talking a little bit about our healing center. That includes therapy. It offers a safe, confidential environment for survivors who have experienced domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. Services are on a sliding scale, and no one is turned away because of finances. And those services are offered in Spanish and English. And our healing center also has what's called a FOPP program, and that stands for First Offenders Prostitution Program. That's a program where first offenders, instead of, they can get that offense expunged from their record if they take this class, get their certification of completion, and that goes back to the judge. For more information about that program, you can speak to Denise Henderson, and her contact information is on this slide. And for any folks that are Spanish speaking, can contact Karen Salas Caballero, and that's also on our slide. And we can go to the next one, I believe.
At YWCA, we also have a social justice team. This department offers the Promotoras program, which is a program that provides Latina women with tools to develop leadership skills to be able to educate their own communities about domestic violence and sexual violence. Through our STEM program, services are offered as a computer education. It is a computer education program built to address the gap in the interest of technology, science, engineering, and math for girls. If anyone is interested in this specific program, the contact information is listed on the PowerPoint slide, and you would be able to reach Vanessa Martinez directly for more information on this program.
Okay, and last and definitely not least, we're going to be briefly speaking about our child care center. Am I on mute? I'm not on mute, right? Okay. We're going to be speaking about our child care center. As you can see here, there are 3 different locations in San Jose. There is one at our downtown office, which is called the Davison Center, Conservation Corps, and the West Valley site. All those numbers are there for you if you are interested. Childcare capacity has changed due to COVID-19 protocols, but there is space that is opening up for school-age children, toddlers, and infants. For the childcare, CalWORKS is accepted, and fees are dependent on the age of the child. And if you do have any questions or have any clients that have any questions about enrollment, you can contact the number that we have here on the presentation for any information. And they are available within regular office hours. And with that being said, I think that is it. Thank you. Thank you all for having us.
Thank you so much, Giselle and Magdalena. In the interest of time, I'm going to ask that any questions please be put in the chat box. And Giselle and Magdalena, if you could just monitor that and just answer via chat. And if you guys want to add your contact information too, if people have other questions. But let's get right into the last presentation. That would be City Team. James and Daniel, are you ready?
We are.
Awesome. You should be able to share your screen.
Check this out. How's
Awesome.
that?
Thank you. Looking good.
All right. So we're also joined by Melody Alvarado and Joelle from our women's program. So Daniel's going to present. I'll just give you a little bit of background. City Team has been around since 1957, focusing on the immediate needs of our community. In 1957, City Team started out as a soup kitchen and homeless shelter for men. And then through the years, we've seen the need grow. And so our program grew. Today, we're focused on the immediate needs of our homeless community, focusing also on lasting solutions. So today, Daniel's going to focus and share with you about our Turning Point program and what that is. And it's really a transitional program. So Daniel, go ahead.
All right. So good morning. My name is Daniel Armstrong, and I'm the program coordinator for the Turning Point program. So we can go on next slide. And so here at the City Team San Jose Turning Point program, so for men, we provide supportive transitional housing. Our mission is to stabilize and empower clients with spiritual support, life skills classes, employment optimization, permanent housing options. So in order to qualify for our program, participants must be working, actively looking for work, or be enrolled in school or training programs, maintain abstinence from alcohol and drugs, and be willing to meet weekly with case management. So our focus with this program is first-time homeless, chronically homeless, formerly incarcerated, homeless or working, help in finding a career. So people who just want to change their life and people that are willing to work. So this is our core and our focus group right here. So our program is split into two phases. So phase one is designed to support men as they look for work, maintain current employment, go to school, or take steps towards stable housing. So through case management, we help establish short-term and long-term goals. So this phase is basically back to the basics. Most residents entering phase one start from scratch. So that means, you know, things like obtaining documents, ID, social, birth certificate, you know, creating a HMIS profile, uplift enrollment for transportation. So we help with that, establishing healthcare. So this is also the phase where we'd work on building resume, mock interviews, access to City Team at Work. So that's our career development center. And they dive deeper into career advancement or furthered education with our clients. This phase also allows for men to get used to living in community by participating in chores and learning important life skills. This can be up to 6 months, and curfew is based on work schedule. This becomes less restrictive when advancing to phase two. So now I'll share a little information on phase two. So phase two, so you become eligible for phase two after becoming secure in employment, working regularly. It focuses on the building blocks needed to live independently. So budgeting, spending habits, savings, exit plan, you know, is required to move on and with anything that is within reason financially. Documented housing search. So we work together with City Team at Work, our career advancement center, with helping with finding, you know, low-income housing, different resources in the area. This phase can be up to a year long and also requires abstinence from drugs and alcohol. So our case management. So we work with individuals, so it's individualized plans. So the focus in case management is housing, continued education, career enhancement. We do work with veterans and finding benefits in certification programs, such as trade orientation, things like that. And so the goal is to help clients gain life skills that will help them become self-sufficient and confident in their ability to access and utilize resources available. So they range from short-term to long-term goals, professional, personal, and spiritual. So these goals should be SMART. So that's the guideline we use. That means specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. And so this is just a little bit of the facility and some of the things that the guys can do when they're here. But we provide bedding, we provide locker storage, hygiene products, access to showers, washers, dryers. Our donation closet contains interview clothes, anything that the guys need. So we have shoes, socks, everything that you would need. And we provide life skills classes on site. We also have AA meetings on site next door to our Renew program that focuses on addictive behavior. Courtyard for exercise activities, basketball, things like that. So this is our dining area, and we also provide 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. We have access to snacks, and if someone is starting work and cannot afford lunch, when they do get into beginning with employment, so we provide sandwiches and snacks for that purpose. So you can graduate our program, and the success indicators that we look for when people are graduating are stable income, financial stability, stable housing, healthy support network, and in some cases, family reunification. And so the procedure of entry for COVID-19, and we'll include this with emails and flyers that'll give you guys a little more. I'm kind of rushing through the program so we can get to the women's side, but we basically have anybody that's inquiring about our program call a phone number, which I'll include. So we do phone screenings typically Monday through Friday from 9 to 4. Details of program structure explained to potential participants during intake interview. So incoming clients right now are required to obtain current COVID-19 testing and be at the facility within 24 hours of receiving results of those tests. So phone numbers, information, flyers will be sent out after this presentation. And I don't want to cut off Melody because she has some amazing information for the women's programs that she would like to share with all you guys. So it's all yours, Melody.
Awesome. Thank you. Is there any way that I can share our screen on our side?
Yeah, participant screen sharing should be enabled, but
I just made you co-host, Melody.
Oh, you're awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna also be quick. Do you see it? Okay, good. So I'm just gonna give a quick overview. I know James had talked a little bit about what our organization is, and Joelle is here with us from House of Grace. So I'm the director over women's programs, kind of stepped into this role mid-July, but I've been with City Team for 14 years, working mostly at Heritage Home and then a good portion at House of Grace, which is our 2 main women's programs. But this year we have added 2 new women's programs to our facilities. I'm just going to kind of go through and share a little bit about what our programs are, and then the numbers and everything are on the sheets as we go, so you can write them down, or I can also send them out as flyers when we're done. So I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so Heritage Home is our home. It's a Victorian home, beautiful, amazing space for women who are pregnant. And also this year we have started working with new moms. So women that have recently given birth and have their baby with them. We are now providing shelter and all of our normal resources. So we are faith-based, so we do have, the faith element included into our program. And we provide everything that a mom is gonna need. They're everything for the baby, everything for them, including case management, counseling, life skills classes, and of course, linking them to outside resources for medical, legal, and all of that. So I'm gonna go to the next one. These are the 3 tracks that we have at Heritage Home. We have our emergency shelter. So that's usually someone who's in their 3rd trimester and about ready to deliver. They can come with us, they can come and have their baby. And usually that's someone that has maybe somewhere to go or would like to transition right after birth. Our 2nd track is our Well Baby Initiative, which is 3rd trimester up to 4 months after the baby's born. And all of that is working with their case manager on their individualized plans. We're gonna assess where their needs are and create that plan with them. And then our full program at Heritage Home incorporates everything. It's our 12-step program, our spiritual formations, support groups, life skills, birth plan, reunification, and as well as working with our Learning and Career Center that's gonna really assess their career goals and help them get a job or a career, start working towards that. So when they do transition out, that they are able to continue caring for themselves. So that's Heritage Home. House of Grace is our 2nd home for women and children. I think I went, yeah, I skipped a slide, but it's okay in the sake of time. House of Grace is an apartment style living. It's for women and children ages 0 to 5. It's 10 to 12 months, apartment style, community-based environment. We have an on-site nursery for the kids, and it's a co-op. So the women are all kind of involved in caring for the children and giving them that time to be able to, the mothers to be able to be in class and work on themselves. We have the 12-step addiction and support and mentoring, the spiritual guidance, and then again, our learning and career center services that is provided for them. Okay, so, oops, sorry, so this is one of our newest programs that we've started at the beginning of the year, which is our Youth Collective. This is for females between the ages of 18 to 24 that are aging out of the foster care system. They're either homeless or at risk, becoming homeless, in need of case management services, educational or career services. They can be working or not working. We'll take them in wherever they're at and work alongside them to help them transition. They do need to be willing to participate in the structure. So we are, again, a faith-based environment, so they've got to be, comfortable with that piece, and then willing to commit to the process. We really want to see them. We're really committed to walking alongside them, but we want to make sure that they are also committed. And as you see, the number is there on the bottom. We're really excited about this new home. It's a new adventure for us. Really been seeing a lot of beautiful things coming from there. Watching the women transition out has just been really great. We've had 3 successful women graduate since they've been with us already, so that's pretty amazing. And then this is our last home that we just opened. It's our transitional home for our women coming out of our programs. This home was donated to us this year by the Kincaid family, which is such a gift. So women who are graduating our home that our programs that need a little bit of aftercare, they can transition into that. So they can live there with their older children up to the age of 12, up to a year, and continued services. So if they're working on a career development plan, they would continue to look for housing and be able to link services for them. So our goal for each one of our programs is to see them transition out with a job, a stable housing, a support system, and being able to fully function on their own. For all of our programs, it's very similar to what James and Daniel mentioned. It starts with a phone call, and they do the pre-screening from there. Right now, during COVID, we are dropping everything to do the next part, to do the intake process. We know that our women are vulnerable. Many of our women and children are out there struggling, and so we want to make sure that we're on top of that. I definitely want to be a resource. We want to be a resource for you guys. We're looking to see how we can partner with each of you guys for the need and to be able to make the process simple and easy. And so I'm available for questions and would love to be able to, if there's been barriers, things that have been hard for you guys to come into our agency, we want to kind of figure out where those are so that we can continue to link our services with you. So I think that's all I have. I'm really honored to be on here. I think, Joelle, do you have anything you want to add to what we've talked about?
You pretty much touched on everything. I just want to remind all of you out there on Spin that we do partner with a program called We Hope Dignity on Wheels that provides shower and laundry services. City team partners with them on Sundays from 1 to 5 at the men's at the City Team Men's Program. It's 1297 13th Street, and again, it's Sundays 1 to 5. They can get showers, laundry, bags of groceries, hygiene, all kinds. And once a month, one Sunday a month, they're going to be giving out clothing and shoes and things like that. So if you know any people who need those services, Sunday 1 to 5, 1297 13th Street.
I think also this Sunday they're going to be giving out warm coats.
Yeah.
So if anybody that needs those, that's going to be something they're doing. Yeah, I think that was it. Appreciate you guys allowing us to present.
Thank you so much, Melody and James and Daniel, all our amazing folks from City Team. That was a great, informative presentation. I'm sorry you guys had to rush through it a little bit, but we so appreciate it, and I want to give a huge thank you to all of our presenters from today. There was tons of amazing programs, resources, and services that were shared here today. So I hope everyone learned something new and takes something out of this. If anyone has any questions for Melody and or James and Daniel, if they can put their contact information in the chat, you can contact them that way, or if any of them are free to stick around for a few minutes to answer questions, that would be fine too. Kelsey and I can stick around just for a little bit to answer any questions, or we didn't get to the open communication section today, but if anyone has any holiday updates or COVID updates that they'd like to share, we can stay on for that, and anyone who wants to stay on is welcome to, but we also respect your time. So if you got to hop off, that's totally fine. Also keep in mind, you can use that Spin email list to send out any updates you might have. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We thank you. Oh, Melody, it looks like you sent your information to me privately. I'll send it out with the Spin email, the follow-up email with all the flyers and everything. But also definitely share it with the group.
Yes.
But yeah, if anyone has any questions, now's the time.
I actually do have some questions. Is there will you be sending out flyers of like the information for the showers? I would like to get it posted to our site for job train.
Sure, we can send that out. No problem.
Thank you.
I had a question for Melody specifically. Melody, I get a bunch of donations from a nonprofit called Love Twice. It's just baby clothes, and I have like 30 at my house, like 30 boxes of really nice baby clothes that haven't been touched in weeks. I was wondering, do you guys take those donations?
So right now with COVID, our donations are very limited. And so I can talk with you offline. We are not receiving a lot of it because of the processing, but I'd be happy to talk with you offline about that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
I do want to, I think one last thing, the shower truck on Sundays, one thing that our focus is for women. And so that shower truck has women as priority. So if women come, they actually get bumped to the top of the list. I just want to encourage you guys, for those of you who are working directly with women, that the shower truck on Sundays was actually focused for women. So
also one other thing I'd like to add about that, the address for the shower truck, it's North 13th as opposed to just 13th Street, North 13th Street. So put a little N in front of the 13 and we'll get to the right place.
Any other questions? All right, I think we can probably wrap it up, guys. Okay, thank you so much, and we will see you all next month.
Yeah,
Thank
have a
you.
good evening or holiday. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.